Hello, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream, let's talk about Konami and the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. Now, I'm just going to get the live stream sorted out. I'm going to share the live stream, and I got a like already. Damn. Somebody really agrees with me on this topic. Somebody knows exactly what I'm going to say in this topic. That's amazing. Okay, Whoa. Okay. Something tells me this is going to be an interesting live stream. Okay, so last week it was Rockstar Games, Take-Two, Interactive and Red Dead Redemption, which I will not be recapping, by the way. And this week, it's Konami. Oh my, the video game industry is a shell of its former self. The video game industry is full of greed and just pure laziness today. I don't care if you can make a AAA blockbuster video game with ultra realistic graphics and a massive open world. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't give a shit about that when I look at laziness and greed. Chad Middleton, welcome to Green Hill Gaming. How are you, first of all? Yeah, welcome to my discussion live stream, where this week I'm talking about the laziness and greed of Konami with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. What do I mean? 720p is not very masterful. Is it, Chad? No. I mean, I don't know what to think, because on one hand we are getting the games back, but yeah, not higher resolution, widescreen, and give us save states and rewind and modern emulation features. Interesting you should bring up save states, actually. Did you know that Konami actually charged people money for extra save files in Metal Gear Survive, the amazing Metal Gear Survive? Crazy, isn't it? But welcome to the live stream, Aaron. How are you doing? Feel free to join in the conversation. By the way, 720p on Switch, we don't know on other consoles. It's 720p across all platforms. If Push Square are telling the truth. Don't know if you're aware of Push Square, but Push Square are reporting that it's 720p on all platforms. Now, I will get into the ins and outs on this topic. I'll be pretty factual. Now, when I say factual, like, I'm not Konami, I'm not Push Square, I'm not a video game journalist. So when I say factual, I'm going by what these professional journalists who get paid to report video game news, what they're saying. So just bear that in mind. Everyone only played Switch. Well, according to Push Square. And hello, Nicola. You are very welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Welcome to my discussion live stream, where I'm talking about Konami and their laziness with their 720p resolution for Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. 720p, that's going to look awful on my 4K TV. Isn't it? Okay, so let me get that article up. I know exactly what you're referring to. People got to go hands-on with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection recently, and apparently it was the Switch version that they were playing, and the games were in 30 frames per second and 720p. Now let me just talk a little bit about technical specifications, okay? Just for a second. No, I'm not really that familiar with specs, but I can tell you for a fact that the Nintendo Switch is a more powerful piece of hardware than the PS1 and PS2. I can tell you for a fact that the Nintendo Switch is capable of 1080p resolution. I can tell you for a fact that the Nintendo Switch is capable of 60 frames per second. Let's just get that out of the way. Now, let me find that article. I'm probably going to be missing a few comments here, but that's okay, because I'm just loading up my Google on my phone so I can get up the article that Push Square are reporting. Now again, Push Square are video game journalists. Okay, this is the video game website that reports on news. They get paid to do this. They're professionals. It's their job. And their headline is Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. That's not the one. That's not the one I was looking for. This is the one I was looking for. Okay, PS2 games, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 will be just 720p on PS5 and PS4. Now, it's interesting that they say PS2 games, because does that mean that Metal Gear Solid 1, which was on PS1, does that mean it's going to be lower than 720p? Because I can't say it being higher, because it would make no sense that it would have a PS1 game with a higher resolution than a PS2 game. That's interesting. On PS5 and PS4, and then it says underneath it, that's not a typo. And then it goes on to say, what's the resolution you associate with PS5 and PS4 games? On the latter, 1080p has generally been a standard, pushing up as high as 4K on the PS4 Pro. And the former format has generally targeted 2160p versus 4K, where possible, with a few noteworthy examples using checkerboard or reconstruction techniques to boost their final image quality. You'd expect the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 to be running at a rock-solid 60 frames per second in full 4K, then wouldn't you? This is, after all, a compilation of a PS1 game and two PS2 titles. Well, according to Nintendo Life, now this is where, as I mentioned earlier, and as you mentioned earlier, Aaron, people have went hands-on with the Nintendo Switch version. But what they have to realise is, we're not talking about Mortal Kombat 1, right, on Nintendo Switch, compared to Mortal Kombat 1 on PS5. We're talking about, essentially, emulations of a PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 game. I cannot see the Nintendo Switch version having issues emulating PS1 and PS2 games. So I would say that what these people saw on Switch is essentially going to be the same on PS4 and PS5. If you can't understand that, then I mean, I mightn't be the biggest I mightn't have a massive understanding of specs and text, but I can tell you that if you don't understand that, then you need to sort your brain out. So yeah, according to Nintendo Life, the collection will actually be targeting 720p because this bundle is based on the PS3's ancient Metal Gear Solid HD collection. In fact, the site also notes that the menus in the current build carry a 2012 copyright notification. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 are essentially based off the HD collection that released back in 2012. So more than likely it will be 720p across all platforms, effectively confirming they're based on Bluepoint's decades-old remasters. Considering Konami is asking good money for this compilation, this honestly cuts a little deep. There's no way this bundle should be releasing in 720p on contemporary consoles. That again, that's from Push Square. That was posted today. No, also all the comments I've missed. This would be interesting. Okay, I think all my comments are just not even displaying though. Okay, there's a few here. Also, why does the Switch version run at 30 frames per second and have major slowdown? How can they mess that up? Again, and I know that you've left other comments, but again, I can't see the Nintendo Switch version having issues running a PS1 and PS2 game, and I can't see the Switch version being any different to the PS4 and PS5 version. Again, when I'm talking about a PS5 game being ported to a Nintendo Switch, we're talking about PS1 and PS2 games. So I would say that what people have seen on Switch will be exactly the same as PS4 and PS5, considering that the Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 games, the PS2 games, they're based off the HD collection. So again, I can't see that being an issue on Nintendo Switch. If people don't understand that, then they'll have zero understanding of specs. Switch can handle all the games. Again, Switch can. Again, these are PS1 and PS2 games. The Switch is far more powerful than a PS1 and PS2. The Switch is more powerful than the PS3, and the Switch is fully capable of handling PS4 games, including Mortal Kombat 11, which runs in 60 frames per second. So, Switch is more than capable of handling PS1 and PS2 games. So I can't emphasize that enough. It annoys me because the TMNT collection last year from Konami was amazing. Why did it not follow that collection? Yes, that was amazing, and those games were definitely upscaled. Absolutely. Even had online. Modders that emulated Red Dead Redemption on Switch got it running smooth at 60 frames per second unlocked. Yes. And if anyone wants to play Red Dead Redemption, emulate it. Don't give Rockstar Games any more of your money. Push Square can't know this information. They are lying. No one played the other consoles. Push Square basically are, as I stated, as these articles said, as Push Square has stated, according to Nintendo Life, which went hands-on with the Nintendo Switch version of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. And again, when I say the Nintendo Switch version, I'm not talking about the Nintendo Switch version of Mortal Kombat 1. I am talking about a game that essentially has emulations of PS1 and PS2 games. If people think that the Switch can't handle PS1 and PS2 games, then they're idiots. So I would imagine that the Nintendo Switch version would be exactly the same as the PS4 and PS5 version, because they're emulating PS2 and PS1 games. And when they went hands-on with this game, they were playing, like Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 had the 2012 trademark. They were based off the HD collection. So that's going to be the same on PS4 and PS. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. It's not like, oh, Switch inferior version. Will you get an inferior version of The Witcher 3 and Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch? Yes, of course you will. Because those games were built for hardware that was more powerful than the Nintendo Switch hardware. But we are talking about PS1 and PS2 games. There was absolutely no issue running PS1 and PS2 games on Switch. So I don't think they're lying. These are old games. If they can't run in 1080p and 60 frames per second or something, is wrong. If Konami can't port or emulate a PS1 or a PS2 game onto any platform that is released today in a resolution at least 1080p and 60 frames per second, then they're just lazy or just not qualified to do their job. On PlayStation Plus Premium, you can play PS1 games that are upscaled, I believe, to even 4K on PS5, and they look amazing and they're full widescreen. If they can do that, then Konami can do this with Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Switch would have no problem if the 3DS and Vita could run it. Exactly. Listen, I shouldn't have to spend any more time telling people that the Nintendo Switch is more than capable of handling PS1 and PS2 games. I don't want to have to repeat that again. We're not talking. I mean, are we talking about 2-year-olds here? Like, honestly, they just ported the games and slapped them in the collection. It seems that way, yeah. Hello, Wacky Wacko. Welcome to the live stream. Hello, Power Slave Productions. You're also very welcome to the live stream. How are you both doing? Feel free to join in on the discussion where I'm talking about Konami and the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, where at least the PS2 games anyway are going to be in 720p. I would presume Metal Gear Solid 1 would be at least in 720p, possibly even lower. I can't see like Metal Gear Solid 1 being the exception where it has like 1080p resolution. It wouldn't make any sense. It's pure laziness. I mean, it's not very hard to upscale the resolution. Am I saying that they should have remastered these games? No, I'm happy enough with those games in their original form. But like they could at least upscale the resolution. I'm not asking for a remake of those games either. We're getting a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 that's good enough for me. I'm saying like, would it have really killed them to upscale the resolution? You know what I mean? It's just pure laziness. That's what it is. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Castlevania Collection were made by indie studios that cared for the games. Good point. And all those games you mentioned, Chad, were upscaled. It's still impressive that The Witcher 3 has done on Switch. It looks worse. Yeah, but look, we won't talk about, again, like we're not talking about The Witcher 3, you know, being ported to the Switch. We're not talking about Mortal Kombat 1 being ported to the Switch, or these like big PS4 games being ported to the Nintendo Switch. Because the PS4 is more powerful than the Switch. That's an obvious fact. I don't think anyone needs to be reminded of that. I mean, it makes me laugh when you see, recently, Digital Foundry came out of their nerdy caves with their magnifying glasses, you know, inspecting how Red Dead Redemption port runs on Switch. It's a fucking 13-year-old PS3 and 360 game. Do we really need Digital Foundry coming out there with their magnifying glasses? Oh, this runs amazingly well on Switch. I am so surprised that a game that came out on PS3 and 360 13 years ago runs well on a Nintendo Switch that released in 2017. It baffles me that people even have to have these conversations. Honestly, Jesus Christ. So yes, The Witcher 3, of course, is going to look downgraded on, you know, Witcher 3 on Switch. It is obviously going to be downgraded because Switch is not as powerful as PS4. But when we're talking about the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, we're talking about PS1 and PS2 emulations. Honestly, it's ridiculous. And I am telling you for a fact, it's going to be 720p across all platforms. Yeah, what is new? Laziness and greed in the video game industry. The discussion is about Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection, and how Konami feel it's acceptable to have those games in a 720p resolution across all platforms, not just the Nintendo Switch. So feel free to join in. I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's easy money to port old games for a quick couple of bucks. If people are stupid enough to fucking buy them. I have Metal Gear Solid 1 on PS1. I have Metal Gear Solid 2 on PS2. I'm pretty sure I have Metal Gear Solid 3 on PS2. If I don't have it on 3DS, which I think is the definitive edition, is stereoscopic 3D in a jungle, what more could you ask for? And it's on the go as well. Do I need to buy these games again? No. I'm not going to now, not after this laziness. 720p, no thank you. Jesus Christ. 720p 30 frames per second, Metal Gear Solid Collection. Yes, that's the discussion. Laziness. Any old game collection can run at full speed at high resolution on Switch. Just look at... Exactly! Oh my god. Like, it's... Again, I just don't even need to be having this discussion. We are talking about PS1 and PS2 games. For Christ's sake. Look at Final Fantasy X and X2 HD remasters on Switch. They run extremely well. These are and these are actual remasters here. These are actual remasters. Square Enix actually remastered Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X2 on Nintendo Switch and other platforms. Okay? HD visuals, HD textures, as a complete remaster. Look at the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Look at the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. Those are 3 actual remasters of PS1 games, and they run extremely well on Nintendo Switch. No issues. No concerns. So can we just drop this whole, like, debate on whether Nintendo Switch can actually run PS1 and PS2 games in their standard form, because the games on Metal Gear Solid Master Collection are basically the original versions, which I have no problem with, but I have a problem when it comes to 720p resolution on PS5. And again, this has got nothing to do with, like, the PS5 is a 4K console. The PS4 can have full 4K resolution. Okay? Jesus Christ. Honestly, they should have just installed an emulator when they developed the PS5, but I thought, hey... But again, this is not about, like... This is not an issue with Sony here. This is an issue with Konami being lazy and not putting in the most minimum of effort to upscale their games. I mean, again, I'm not sitting here saying, hey Konami, remaster Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 and 3. I'm not saying remake all those games. I'm not, because we're getting Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, or Metal Gear Solid Delta, whatever the fuck it's called. I am saying that if you're going to release a collection of games on modern consoles, the least you could do is upscale the resolution. Am I making... Is it as big of a deal as Red Dead Redemption being ported to PS4 and Nintendo Switch as a straightforward port for €50 and $50 and £40 with no multiplayer, no improvements? Am I saying that this is as big of an issue as big of an issue as that? No, but it's still an example of laziness, you know. And if we continue to support this, you know, then the video game industry, as we know it, like, is just a shell of its former self. Capcom did the Devil May Cry collection on Switch, and those are PS2 classics. Look, I can't think of anything off the top of my head because I'm so fucking focused on what I want to say, but I can guarantee you that there are a lot more collections on Switch and PS5 and PS4, collections from PS1 games, collections from PS2 games that have a resolution that is higher than 720p. I can guarantee that. Actually, people bitch about the Sonic collection, but still, it's a hell of a lot better. Do you mean this? Because these are actually the games in Sonic Origins are actual remasters. They're not. You can play them in their original form if you want, and even in their original form, I believe the resolution is still higher. This is about Konami deciding to have a 720p resolution in 2023 on modern hardware. That's the issue, and that is laziness. Is this Johnny complaining again? You see, I find it interesting that people who call me lazy, people like them, aka ass kissers, aka simps, aka sheep. You know, call people like me truth tellers. You know, you complaining. I will sit here and I will complain as long as I fucking need to. As long as it takes to get it in to your fucking thick skull that this is an issue, and that this is an issue that all of us need to be talking about. So yeah, call it complaining, call it whatever you want, to be telling the truth. I mean, it's funny because we live in a world where people complain about a packet of rice. Uncle Ben's, that's extremely offensive. Oh my God, I have to protest. Or like, oil? You use oil? Oh my God, I am so offended that I'm gonna literally glue my fucking face to the floor. I mean, it's amazing that we have got these people who engage in that type of behaviour. But God forbid Johnny calls out a company like Konami. You know, that's going to charge full price for this collection, by the way, with a resolution of 720p. God forbid I complain. I mean, at least I'm not fucking gluing my face to the road, thinking I'm making a difference. Honestly. Definitely. No, I would say you have the right to complain. But it's not so much complaining, though. You know what I mean? It's just me telling it as it is. I mean, I want the games, but not for that price. Oh, man. I mean, the idea of being able to play some of my favourite games of all time. Because I really are. They're all like, I mean, like the original Metal Gear Solid. I mean, do I need to say anymore? I mean, like one of the most iconic PS1 games. I love that game. Metal Gear Solid 2, the hours I've put into that game, embarrassing. Metal Gear Solid 3, the story in that game, the boss, the team behind it, absolutely amazing. So to have those games in the one package on Switch, and I mean, you're not, they're not. You have CD Projekt Red, which were able to port a massive AAA blockbuster open world game like The Witcher 3. They were able to fit that game and all of its DLC onto a cartridge. PS4 game ported over to the Switch on one cartridge. Now you have Konami, who can't even put all the games in that master collection onto a cartridge. Apparently you have to download them because they're just too fucking cheap and too fucking lazy to put them onto a cartridge. And I swear to God, like, if I have to explain to people that the Switch is capable of fitting PS1 and PS2 games onto a cartridge, I will fucking shoot myself live on the stream. Because I mean, it's one thing, like, I don't care if you are like, if you want to troll me, well, that would fall on the troll. If you want to hate me and you want to call me whatever you want, that's fine. That's fine, but just don't be a retard. You know, at least have more fucking brain cells than fake YouTube accounts to troll me. You know? That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Don't ask for much. Yeah, €50 for a 720p resolution. Just not good enough. Nintendo did the Pikmin 1 and 2 HD. Again, Nintendo taking GameCube games and putting them in full HD on the Nintendo Switch. That's what you call effort. I'm just throwing out HD stuff. That's much better. Yeah, you're giving an example of companies who put the effort in. I mean, if Nintendo wanted to take the lazy route, they would have just given Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 as they were on GameCube, standard definition. I think it would have been 420p. Because, yeah, it would have been, because the Wii wasn't even HD, so 720p is HD. In fact, 720i is actually HD, actually. Yeah. And if Nintendo wanted to take the lazy route, they would have made Metroid Prime standard definition, but they've completely remastered it. No, again, I'm not asking for Konami to remaster these games. I'm just asking them to acknowledge modern fucking resolutions. You know? That's all I'm asking for. Johnny is a pro at Metal Gear. I wouldn't say I'm a pro. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck a pro Metal Gear player would be, because I would imagine pro is something you would use when you're, I don't play multiplayer. I just find it fucking annoying when people talk about being pro. I mean, especially Resident Evil gamers nowadays, especially Gen Z Resident Evil players, banging on about completing the game on the hardest difficulty and getting the cat ears, and when they literally cheated, when they literally used microtransactions to get an item easier so they could get like fucking, what was it, fucking infinite ammo or whatever shit, and just finding easier ways to do it instead of actually putting in the effort. I doubt any of those Gen Z little babas did what I did back in the day leading up to the release of Resident Evil Revelations. I played every Resident Evil game in the series at that point. No help, no guides, no walkthroughs, nothing. Now that's what you call a pro Resident Evil gamer right there. So I'd say I'm a pro Resident Evil gamer, yeah. I'm going to piss off a few Gen Z fuckers there, but I don't give a shit. Why would I? I mean, the Metroid remaster, another example. The Metroid. But again, let's be fair, and let's bring this topic back to the point. I'm not sitting here asking Konami to remaster any of the games in the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. I'm just saying, for a title that says Master in it, for a title that has Master, this is a Master Collection, to have those games in 720p resolution is fucking pathetic, and it's anything but masterful. I don't know, just put in the effort, Konami, for God's sake. I mean, Konami have come out of their caves, you know, wearing this mask, the mask of greatness. Hey, look, we've given you the Silent Hill transmission. We're giving you all these Silent Hill games. Either half of them are aimed towards people who play fucking Dead by Daylight, and I play Dead by Daylight. I play Dead by Daylight. I don't have a problem with Dead by Daylight, but I'm just saying, if you stop and look at those Silent Hill games, now I'm probably going off track here now again, but the only, I would say, real Silent Hill games, right, that we got in that transmission was a remake of Silent Hill 2, which apparently some hardcore Silent Hill 2 fans aren't happy with. You look at the people who made it, do I need to say any more? And then we got Silent Hill Thing. What the fuck was it called? The Japanese Silent Hill. That looks pretty cool. But every other Silent Hill game in between were like different types of projects and spin-offs and live service type streaming experiences, thingy-majingies. It's not what you associate Silent Hill with. I had people telling me that, in my opinion, one of the greatest Silent Hill experiences ever made, Shattered Memories, isn't a real Silent Hill game. And I can guarantee you, those Gen Z motherfuckers will be the first people to go out and download these fucking streaming-based Silent Hill experiences with their little buddies. Oh, this is a great Silent Hill game. Fuck off, you fucking hypocritical spastic. I think I need to take some water. But but yeah, I mean, so the only real Silent Hill game that we're getting is the remake of Silent Hill 2 and that one in Japan, which is good if you're a Silent Hill fan. But as an overall Konami fan, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, I mean, they just, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going off track here. But to get back to the topic, right? These are PS1 and PS2 games. You're going to put them on modern hardware, at least have it on modern resolution. What's the point? Here's the question. What is the point on putting these games on modern platforms if they're not going to take advantage of modern resolution? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, PlayStation would have done a better job if Konami and PlayStation had come together and put those games on the PS Plus Premium, because they would have been upscaled. They would have been in at least 1080p resolution and all the different filters that you could add to it as well. I'm a piss poor at gaming. Look, man, to get back to what I was saying earlier, I'm going off track now again, but this bullshit like pro gaming fucking culture, unless you're talking about like Mortal Kombat in the esports scene, then like fuck pro gaming. Like, I mean, if you're playing a single player game, first of all, right, what the fuck does pro gaming even mean? Oh, look at me, I've gotten these rabbit ears and bunny ears or kitty ears or what the fuck in Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm a pro gamer. And then you find out that they actually use microtransactions to get there, and you just want to strangle the fuckers. Seriously. Anyway, that's off topic. Christ. I mean, who am I going to be talking about in my next discussion live stream? I mean, who's next? Who's next for this absolute laziness? I mean, Gamescom is tomorrow. You know, maybe we'll have another example of pure laziness. Maybe Rockstar Games will take to the stage and say, "We have a huge Grand Theft Auto announcement. We know you've all been waiting to hear this. Well, here we go. We are pleased to announce Grand Theft Auto 5 Switch Edition. No multiplayer. Enjoy. Oh, by the way, it's €60 for the privilege of playing on the go." You know, oh god, that would give me a heart attack with just pure rage. That would kill me. Like, that would finish me off. Seriously. I don't even think I'd be able to fucking... I would just be... bury me by my headstone right now, because that would finish me off completely. Honestly. PlayStation are making their games upscaled and save states and all that shit. Exactly. PlayStation actually put in the effort with PS1 and PS2 games. Yeah, ignore the pro gaming. I hate seeing people play Souls games and not damage runs. Cool for them, but not for me. Man, fuck them. Seriously. Damien, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing, man? Welcome to my discussion live stream where I'm talking about Konami and the Metal Gear Master Collection. Master Collection, Damien. Master. It's so masterful, isn't it? 720p resolution. That's so masterful. What do you think about all this? After this and Red Dead Redemption, I'm all for AI to take over. Well, if they can do a better job, you know, than the humans that are running Konami and fucking Rockstar Games, AI all the way, Damien. I play a game for fun, not to piss me off. That's exactly how I feel. I mean, I don't like to be tortured when I'm playing my games. I like a fair challenge, like Sifu, which I platinumed. You know, but not when I'm just raging non-stop. I do rage a lot when I play difficult games, but yeah, I want to have fun in between, you know. GTA 5 remastered edition. We laugh, but it's literally a Rockstar game, so it wouldn't surprise me. Master Collection Volume 1. What will Volume 2 be like? I can't wait to see how they fuck it up. Oh yeah. Volume 2 now in 1080p. Do you know, I'm actually, like, I'm saying this jokingly, but the more we support this laziness and greed, it's actually going to happen. Do you know what I mean? True, I like to challenge myself on games, but I'm not an elitist. Fucking elitist! My arsehole! Seriously. I mean, they literally use microtransactions so they can get this like fucking item early on in the game so they can pretend they're some kind of pro gamer. Stop the lights. Elitist. Jesus Christ. Don't be giving them any sort of credit, man. Seriously. Oh my god. Oh my days. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. I mean, this is about Konami. I mean, Konami, like, you know, yeah, so they came out of their cave wearing their, like, mask of, oh, look at us, we're so great. And now that mask has fucking slipped. And now we see the real Konami back. You know, what an ugly sight it is indeed. What an ugly sight it is indeed, honestly. I mean, it's not, like, again, this isn't like, I mean, I am, like, I mean, it is an issue. It's not as big an issue of Rockstar Games and Take-Two, like releasing a straightforward port of a 13-year-old PS3 and 360 game with no improvements and lack of multiplayer, and PS4 and Switch. That's not, like, it's not, this issue here is not as big of an issue as that, but still, I just think 720p resolution. You know, I think it was Aaron that mentioned, I mean, imagine like having like a 720p image like stretched out on like a fucking 50-inch like 4K, you know, OLED 130 hertz TV. It's gonna look shit. I mean, you might as well just stick to your original version, honestly. That's what I'm gonna do. That is what I'm gonna do. I'm happy enough with it, to be honest with you. No, I'm sticking to my original. I mean, most of the time when I play my games on the Switch, I'm sitting down on the couch or lying on the bed anyway because I've become a fucking, I don't know, I've become fucking socially fucking an introvert. Is that the word? So, I mean, I'd be happy enough just to lie down on my bed and play the original Metal Gear Solid games on my HD TV in my room. And funny enough, that TV automatically, I don't know, it just makes the games look good anyway. So, and I have is, I actually think, isn't, I don't know, I could be wrong here, but I actually think that PlayStation's Mini actually has 1080p games. Probably wrong about that, but again, that's I mean, this is about Konami, like, you know. I mean, PlayStation are more than capable of upscaling their games and third-party games as well. And this is just Konami. This is Konami. Hey, you want the Metal Gear? Here's Metal Gear. I'm putting absolutely no fucking effort into it whatsoever. Oh god. And again, like, I'm not asking for a remaster. I'm not asking for a remake. I'm just asking for a bit of effort. But as you said there, Damien, I mean, maybe AI taking over wouldn't be a bad thing for the gaming industry. That's for sure. At least in the area where it's needed. I mean, obviously there's companies that are pushing out quality left, right, and centre, and they deserve all the credit. I mean, because it isn't the entire video game industry; it's just a few bad apples. But all it takes is a few bad apples to completely ruin a vegetable stand, fruit and veg stand. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it isn't the entire video game industry. It's just companies like Konami and Rockstar Games that just take the lazy way out. No, there was. I mean, there's the one thing I think is good about the Metal Gear Master Collection is all of these bonus features. That you can have a soundtrack, and there's like digital art books, and even like there's some kind of like a novel, and there's even guides that you can actually like walk through guides and everything if you get stuck in the game. Although I wouldn't need that because, you know, pro gamer and all. I'm not joking. I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2 in years, so probably wouldn't have a clue where I'd be going right now if I went back and play that game. But 720p is just not good enough, like. We deserve better than 720p, like, you know. Konami was fucked when Kojima left. Just to touch upon that. Um, okay. In terms of Metal Gear, yes. When Kojima left, Metal Gear was fucked because you literally had the creator, the mastermind, the essence, the soul of Metal Gear gone. How can you continue Metal Gear without its soul? What is a human without a soul? They're quite literally dead inside. That's what you get with. That's what you get. So that's what Metal Gear is now, dead inside. So they're reduced to remaking games now. But as far as Konami as a company, I wouldn't be those people that would say, "Oh well, Kojima's gone, or Konami's fault." No, Metal Gear is one franchise. What people need to realize is Konami have been around for a very long time, and they have a lot of other franchises other than Metal Gear. Castlevania, Silent Hill, Contra, and many others. Bomberman as well, etc., etc., etc. So Konami, I feel like people kind of like say that, and it almost kind of like gives Konami a bit of leeway. You know, oh well, God love him, Kojima's gone now, so they're fucked. What has Hideo Kojima got to do with Silent Hill? You Silent Hill, fair enough, but Silent Hill was a franchise a lot longer than Silent Hill was a project. Would he have made an amazing experience? Yes. Would it have been one of the best Silent Hill games of all time? Definitely. Did he make Silent Hill? No. So my thing is, like, what has Hideo Kojima got to do with Konami's other games? Nothing. So I would say Metal Gear was fucked when Hideo Kojima left. PC players will unlock the frame rate and resolution on day one. Exactly, they will emulate and mod and do all that fucking. They'll basically probe the fuck out of out of the game. Oh god, the PS2 games can't run well. How will the retro games run? I dread to find out. That's the thing. God only knows what they're going to look like. And I mean, let's just remind ourselves that this information is coming from like video game journalists who went hands on with the game, and it mightn't even be in its final form yet. So I'm only reporting on what's being reported. I'm not a video game journalist. I'm not IGN. I don't give games 7 out of 10 because it's too hard to play it. I don't copy people's work. I'm just Johnny. Okay? I'm just little old Johnny. Green Hill Gaming. Right? I'm only reporting from official video game journalists, media outlets that are saying this. So look, it could end up being that the game could be in full 4K on PS5 and 1080p on PS4 and Switch. It's supposed to come with Xbox as well, I think. I believe in Xbox. Oh, it's coming with Xbox as well. Sorry, Phil. I'm always giving him a hard time. So, fuck. But look, who knows? But I don't know. Now when you go by what Push Square were saying, and I know there's people saying, "Oh, Johnny, it was just a Switch version that they were playing. Calm down." Calm down. You're telling me to calm down. Like, literally, if I have to remind people that the Nintendo Switch is more powerful than a PS1 and PS2, I will shoot myself and shoot them at the same time. So, like, my guess is what people were seeing on the Switch version is going to be exactly the same on at least the PS4 version, anyway. I mean, like, if someone looks at me with a straight face and says, "But Johnny, they can't get 1080p on Metal Gear Solid 2, I will strangle them with my bare hands." Like, we need to talk about the fact that these are PS1 and PS2 games. This isn't Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. Do you know what I mean? This isn't Silent Hill 2 Remake. This is a PS1 and PS2 game. Fucking hell. Do you know what game I'd be happy enough though with 720p? Actually, even more than happy. Actually, this was originally a GameCube game. Twin Snakes. The remake of Metal Gear Solid. Yes, Generation Z, there exists a Metal Gear Solid remake. Maybe get your fucking heads out of Fortnite for 5 minutes to fucking realise this. Or does it have to take Solid Snake coming to Fortnite for you to fucking acknowledge this? But there is actually a remake of Metal Gear Solid and it's called Twin Snakes that came out in the GameCube. And since then, there has been absolutely no re-release, remaster of any kind of that game. So if that game was in there at 720p, for that game alone, just to be able to have that game, because I've never played that game, I've never had that game, so to have that game in any form, I'd be more than happy with. 720p, be more than happy with that. But I'd say more than likely that could possibly be, I'd say there could even be DLC for this game, I don't know. Maybe? It's Konami, who knows. I'm just obsessed now with Twin Snakes. I can't get that over my head now, actually. I want Twin Snakes. I fucking want Twin Snakes. Give me that game. Give me that game, Konami. I'm telling you now. Yeah, maybe they are going to change it in newer build. Yeah, it's Konami, so who knows. Super epic douche. Don't worry, it will run 4K 120 frames per second on Switch by release day. Yeah, and I had this funny kind of joke in my head, but it just went to shit. All I can say, super epic douche, is... No, let's see if I can get it out. Well, last time I checked, the Switch doesn't run in 4K. It definitely doesn't run in 120 Hz. So I'm guessing that you're trolling, which is fine. Troll away, bye. Troll away. Damien, AI is what gave us GTA Defective Edition and Final Fantasy 9 Reduced. What the hell is... Wait, what's Final Fantasy 9 Reduced Edition? I have Final Fantasy 9 on Switch and PS4, and I thought that game was great. I mean, obviously GTA, the Defective Edition, is a super epic douche. See what they're doing. Even if it comes to the point where the PS5 and Xbox Series X and PC versions look and play better, then I still think it's an issue. The Switch version is still a lazy port. And again, like, I mean, it's like, I mean, imagine having a conversation, imagine having a debate, imagine putting a question mark on the topic of whether a Nintendo Switch can run a PS1 or a PS2 game well. Just imagine that, like. What planet am I living on? Seriously. Twin Snakes will probably be on the second collection, I hope. I would buy that. Just, I don't care. I just want to. I've been looking up, like, online, and the prices that people are charging for Twin Snakes. I prefer to sit on my ass, to be honest with you. I get more pleasure. But, do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, if it was included in the Volume 2, I would definitely get it. The AI in Final Fantasy 9 made some areas not look as good as the original. I didn't take notice of that now, to be honest with you, because I knew that it wasn't a full-on remaster. It definitely wasn't a remake. I was just happy enough to have a PS1 game on the go on Switch. And I finally completed it on Switch as well, so that was good. It's making Switch look bad. It's Konami. No. This is Konami making Konami look bad. The Switch has Mortal Kombat 11 running in 60 frames per second, both in docked and handheld mode. The Switch has The Witcher 3 This is not about the Switch looking bad here. This is about Konami making themselves look bad. The Switch is more than capable of handling PS2 games and PS1 games, because Square Enix released actual remasters of Final Fantasy X and X2 on the Nintendo Switch. They were remastered in the area of audio. In fact, they had a completely new soundtrack that was completely remastered. You switch between the remastered and original soundtrack, and of course visually it was remastered, updated textures. That runs extremely well on Switch. And of course you have the PS1 remasters of Spyro Reignited Trilogy and Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on Switch, running really well. The Switch is capable of having 1080p resolution and 60 frames per second. As I mentioned, Mortal Kombat 11 runs in 60 frames per second on Switch. So this is not about Switch, this is about Konami being fucking lazy. So Konami are making themselves look bad. Twin Snakes and Metal Gear Solid 4. So I just want Twin Snakes. I'd be happy enough with just Twin Snakes on its own. Metal Gear Solid 4 port would be great as the game is stuck on PS3. Yep. And I don't need to remind people that the Switch is more than capable of handling PS3 games. I know what you're saying, but the conversation online every time we get bad, lazy connections and ports, it's the Switch can't have. But that's because we're talking about PS4 games being ported to the Switch. The PS4 is more powerful than the Nintendo Switch. So obviously, you don't need to be a fucking rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to come to the conclusion that the Nintendo Switch version of PS4 games are going to be downgraded. Of course, The Witcher 3, as amazing of a port as it is on Switch, as amazing as it, runs on the Switch, it's obviously going to have downgrades. The same in Mortal Kombat 11, even though it's at 60 frames per second, it's still going to be downgraded. Like, that's people online are talking about PS4 games being ported to the Switch. I am talking about PS1 and PS2 games being ported and emulated over the Switch. There is absolutely no technical reason as if to why the Nintendo Switch cannot handle a PS1 or a PS2 game. That should not be a discussion. That should not be a topic. That should not be a debate. Anyone wants a debate about whether Switch can handle PS2 or PS1 games, you get belted a shovel and buried with a fucking shovel along with it. Yeah, but that's what people said about the Red Dead port. It's bad because they had to sacrifice for Switch. Just what, they had to sacrifice for Switch? What a load of fucking shit. Yeah. The Nintendo audience are really, they're the audience. Yeah, that's the Red Dead Redemption audience right there. Yeah. So we're going to completely ignore all the people who would have bought Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time. It's a prequel story to Red Dead Redemption. So we're going to completely, we're Rockstar Games, and we're going to completely ignore the audience, and we're going to focus on the Switch, and we're going to sacrifice everything for the Switch audience. I mean, that makes more sense than Donald Trump becoming a fucking tranny. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I just said it on there. Like, that just makes no sense. That's just excusing. That's just putting the blame. That's just putting the blame, right, for laziness and greed, right, with a 13-year-old PS3 and 360 port of a game that has no improvements, no multiplayer, putting that blame on fucking Nintendo Switch. Like, what the fuck, like? What a load of utter epic, super epic douche. It's just lazy. Hate what people come up with. Man, it's the internet. They have more fucking I don't know. They just have no brain cells. They're idiots. I mean, the kind of shit that people come out with online, absolutely ridiculous. This music is putting me to sleep, to be honest. But just to be clear, this is an issue with Konami. We are talking about PS2 and PS1 games. And for them to be at 720p, like, I'm not even talking about the Switch version. I mean, if I was getting this, which I'm not now, because 720p is fucking ridiculous. Now, I'm talking about this game in general across all platforms. And according to Push Square and Nintendo Life, they're basically the same company. Like, they're basically like, I forget what their parent company is called. I think it's Future Publishing or something like that. I think. They're all the same. Like, their offices would be like Xbox, PC, Switch. Like, they're all the same people. They all hang out and go to the same events. Like, they just get assigned which console to report on. Like, you know. So like, obviously, like, the lads at Nintendo say, oh, we're playing this, you know, games on Switch, like, you know, and like, more than likely it's going to be the same across all platforms as well. Like, I'd be highly surprised if it wasn't. They're just trying to justify the reason for laziness, and they need to take a hard look at themselves because they're idiots. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is about Generation Z people, Aaron, is if these people looked at themselves in the mirror long enough, they would literally have an argument with themselves. You know? It's ridiculous. I'm getting tired now. I miss Mortal Kombat 1. That's what all this is. I'm taking my anger out on Konami because I miss my. I'm only joking, but I do miss Mortal Kombat 1. That was the fun beta. But I'm very grateful that I got to play it though, because they actually extended the duration as well. It was supposed to end at 4, I think it was either 4 or 5 p.m. British Standard Time, but they actually extended it to 11 p.m. British Standard Time. And it started on Friday as well, Friday 4 p.m. UK time. Oh god, it was fun. But anyway, back to Konami. Back to a company that doesn't put any effort into their fucking... well, this particular master collection. But you know, it's the people that defend it. Oh god, do you know what? I have been talking about the companies. I've been putting the focus on the companies. Nintendo Life is actually all good Switch channel, so I trust them, but been following for years. It's not IGN we are talking about. Yeah, but these are like IGN are just as bad. Half the time you'd be sitting down, IGN be sitting down, and they won't even know what a Switch is. I think it's a light switch or something. But no, these like Nintendo Life and Push Square are actual video game journalists. They're no different to IGN. They went to the event and they played this game, so you know it's all factual. Exactly, people trying to justify the Red Dead port now. They're trying to justify the network association. Oh, it's unbelievable. But like, so I've been talking about Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive and Konami, but you know what though? It's the people that defend this are worse, and the people who ignore this and go out and support this are worse. Like, possible reason can anyone defend 720p resolution on the PS4 and PS5? But and even Switch, because I seem to be I've been playing my Switch in handheld so much lately that it's like I've actually forgot. I actually genuinely forgot that you can actually play a Switch on the TV. So, like, the Switch is more than capable of handling. Obviously, like on the screen, obviously on the Switch screen, it's 720p, right? But you dock your Switch and you can have resolutions of up to 1080p. So essentially, it's on par with PS4 when it comes to resolution, right? Um, so there is absolutely no reason why in 2023 that a game cannot have higher resolution than 720p. It's just so lazy, so pathetic, and the people that defend it are just, why? How? How could you defend it? And these are the same. I'm telling you, these are the same people that like complain about the most littlest things. Oh my god, I'm not watching that Netflix series. Did you see the amount of whitewashing? Oh my god, I hate that show. Well, suck my balls, you fucking hypocritical tranny. I'll sit here and I'll complain as long as I fucking need to. You complain about your fucking whitewashing on Netflix. And I complain about Konami being lazy at 720p. Bitch. I mean, someone has to say it. Someone has to say it. You know. Oh god. Don't get me started about woke people who hate everything that comes out. And that's exactly, thank you for actually putting it better than I did. Because you do, you have these woke, far left, liberal, Gen Z fuckers who literally complain about everything. They do, like, if it's outside of their little community, right, they complain about everything. This is the problem, that's a problem, he's a problem, she's a problem. You know, I gotta complain about that, I gotta complain about this, I gotta complain about him, I gotta complain about that thing over there. You know, like they would literally look at themselves in the mirror in the morning and complain about you. I mean, it's so rich coming from these people that they would call someone like us complainers. It's just so rich, like. I love it, like. I get great satisfaction actually from just how hypocritical the whole situation actually is. But yeah, Jesus Christ, woke people. That's another topic for another fucking day, to be honest. But I've actually seen people saying that there's a possibility that they could actually censor these games. That's something. Do you know what though? I think if anyone is on the fence on getting this game, wait until reviews, because this game could very well get censored, especially with the whole like Russia and Ukraine situation, and just the way that everyone is so woke now. There might be certain things, like the way that Solid Snake communicates with females in Metal Gear. Like you're gonna get people. Oh God, do you know what? No, you have me going now. But how hypocritical these woke people are. Oh my God, did you see the way Solid Snake? Did you hear the way Solid Snake spoke to that female, to that woman? That is so degrading and insulting to women. Women deserve a lot more respect, and they shouldn't be spoken down to like that in a disgusting sexual nature. And 10 seconds later, they're on OnlyFans to a lady saying, "Oh yeah, show me your tits, show me your ass, you fucking slut." I mean, does it get any more hypocritical than that? Does it actually get any more hypocritical than that? I don't think it does. I rest my case. Just what I mean, like, not enough diversity. Here's the interesting thing about diversity, equality, and inclusion within these communities. It literally is just within that community. It's diversity, equality, and inclusion in that community. Outside of that community, stepping over homeless people, people in need, people who are struggling with other issues, not a care in the fucking world. Where's their equality? Where's their inclusion? Where's their diversity? So I'm happy to go off topic actually for this. Political issues are just as bad. Yes. Yeah, if there's essential stuff, that's gonna suck. Can't call it a master collection. I know, yeah. Imagine censoring and 720p. I mean, that is literally the final straw right there. I think we as a species should not sacrifice a good product because it needs more diversity. It's not a better show because there are more women than men. Exactly. I mean, I can't remember the last time that I enjoyed a show because of the character's sexuality, or because of their religion, or because of their race, or because of their political beliefs. Can you? I really can't. Or like a movie. If you watch a TV show, series, movie, whatever, and you come away from that saying, "Oh, I really enjoy that," and you recommend it to your family and friends, and you're just like, "Oh, I really did enjoy that." You enjoyed the story, the characters, the themes, whatever else. You're not going to come away from it saying, "I thought it was great that this guy was gay. I thought it was great that guy was pro-choice. I thought it was really funny that guy made a joke of Donald Trump." Like, that is not what makes a fucking great series, and that's why half these series get cancelled on Netflix. So yeah, completely agree with you there, man. Why do we need to replace all men with women in every franchise ever? Ghostbusters is one to come to mind. The reboot failed. Yep. I mean, I literally think Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, the video game acted as the third movie, so it should have just ended there. Really. That's what I think. I think what we're getting now is just using the brand. Like, I don't care, like, I mean, what people say. Like, it's a good, yeah, I mean, anything can be a good movie, or a good video game, or a good whatever. It doesn't mean that it's a good Ghostbusters movie. Anyway, that's anyway, we are going way off track, but you know what? I don't mind. Fuck it. It failed. They're making another Ghostbusters sequel. Yeah, they're making another Ghostbusters sequel, but I just feel like it didn't need to be re-released, or not re-released, but it didn't need to have another Ghostbusters movie. There was 1 and 2. Yeah, there was 1 and 2. The people that defend this Metal Gear Solid Master Collection in 720p is fucking hilarious. I'm just happy that I get to play Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 again. I mean, have they not heard of emulation? It's crazy how emulation just pops up, like, in different situations and it's completely like normal and no problem, and I have 2,000 games that I can just instantly play right now through emulation. Why don't these fuckers emulate this game then? I can't understand that. Like, just for the record, I'm not saying women cast is bad. I'm saying when companies celebrate that there is diversity. Have these? See, the thing about it is, it's mostly Generation Z that bangs on about these things. See, the thing is, they weren't alive. They weren't on this earth to remember Alien. Last time I checked, main character, female. And she wasn't put there for eye candy. She was a strong female lead in every fucking sense of the word. So the thing about Gen Z is that they ignore so much and focus on so less. Because they want there to be a problem. They look for a problem. They look for a problem. They look for something to complain about. And in video games, the last time I checked, Samus Aran in Metroid was female. Even before Lara Croft, before Tomb Raider. We're talking about mid-80s. Over 10 years before Lara Croft even became a thing. Or Jill Valentine. She was female. Sorry, getting off topic. You grand. I like to be off topic. Terminator, Sarah Connor, Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, there you go. I can go on with strong leads. Same here. Jax is black. He's in Mortal Kombat. I'm happy enough to go off topic. I'm not really bothered. I'm not particularly too tired, to be honest. It's now like in 10 minutes time I just fall asleep. No Metroid without Alien. Yeah. Oh, did you hear the news as well that I can never pronounce his second name. Mark Charles. Fucking Charles. The voice of Mario. He's no longer going to be the voice of Mario. Oh my god. Mario's dead. There's no more Nintendo. We're all doomed. We're literally talking about a guy that goes, woohoo! So because Mario no longer says, woohoo, the series is dead. Get over yourselves. Seriously. It's amazing how people focus on that as a massive problem, as a massive blow for Nintendo, but they're happy enough to buy Red Dead Redemption and Switch. I can't quite wrap my head around that logic. Obviously, like, look, he's the voice of Mario. He's well known. He's well liked. I have fond memories of hearing Mario's songs in Super Mario 64 and onwards, but is it the entire experience of the game? No. And let's face it, they can just reuse the assets. They can just use his recordings and nobody would be the wiser. Why would you complain? It's just, like, we're not talking about... What's a voice actor that's been in a series for a really long time? Like, let's say they made a new fucking Uncharted game and they had a new voice actor. And all of a sudden, like, Nathan Drake sounded like, hey, we gotta go find some treasure, bro. Yeah. Bro, stop being cringe. Give me that gold, yeah? Bro, yeah. Like, that would be an issue. That would piss people off, like, but it's fucking Mario. Seriously. It's not an issue. And he maybe he wants to retire. Maybe he just wants to step away. I mean, it's not fair to, like, you don't own Charles. He's not your property. You know? people do retire. Like, what's going to happen when Shigeru Miyamoto retires? You know, I see people who fucking be on the streets rioting. Jesus Christ, he's after retiring. Oh my fucking god. You know, just, Jesus Christ, like. I don't consider it to be an issue anyway, to be honest with you. I know you are, Sabertac. That's okay. I accept you, unlike your government. Welcome to the live stream, Sabertac. How are you doing? The Mario voice actor, kind of iconic though. He is iconic, yes. I mean, he is not in Mario Wonder yet. Mario sounds identical. They're going to reuse clips, exactly. Another Chris Pratt, which hurts. I know you're gay. That's okay. I mean, Charles is not young. He is allowed to retire. Of course he is. Konami died. Silent Hill got killed by them. So don't get your hopes up for any Konami games. Well, I know that you hate the Silent Hill 2 remake, Sabertac, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm quite interested in that remake. But as far as Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection is concerned, it is just a lazy, cheap, pathetic. I mean, 720p is just unacceptable. It's just not good enough. No, you're gay. I am homosexual. Okay. That's a new one. Has that been added to the alphabet community? I was about to pre-order it, but I knew pre-ordering games is dumb. Nobody really needs to pre-order games, especially digitally. Because why the fuck anybody would feel the need to pre-order a game digitally is just beyond me. You made the right move though, Sabertac, because like it's just 720p is just ridiculous. Like, yes. Okay. And what does that involve? Does it mean that you are attracted to black people who call each other homie? Hey homie! And you just go, homies. How's that work out for you? I mean, it must be pretty tough, like in Saudi Arabia, like. Wait! Don't open that door! There's a homie behind it. I don't even know what I'm saying, to be honest. But 720 fucking p, huh? Jesus Christ. I don't care for a goddamn sticker sheet for a new cosmetic for pre-ordering. Same here, man. No, I said yes to saying that pre-order games. I know, I'm only joking. Games is done, and I'm not gay like you. Well, I'm not gay. I'm the Saudi Arabian prince. How dare you call me gay? I will behead you. I will shoot you. Man, I actually heard some pretty crazy shit. Sabertac. I heard some. I'm not going to go too political. I'm not making this personal. Why would it be, unless you were involved in it? I doubt very much you were involved in it. So it's not personal. But I'm after hearing some really unsettling news about Saudi Arabia. That apparently Saudi Arabia forces, like military, whatever, are actually involved in shooting dead Ethiopians that are coming into the country. Well, that was reported on news. I'm only going by what I'm hearing. That is fucking. I guess it's rich coming from a company that doesn't let two people be openly in love. It's pretty rich coming from a country that bans video games, but they're okay with shooting people to death just for coming into the country. Alright, did I get too personal there? Did I get too political? Saber attack. I'm only telling the truth, man. RE4 remake was worth pre-ordering Green Her. I mean, sometimes Saber attack, conversations have to divert from video games and into the real world sometimes, and it's just the way life is, man. You know? Yeah, no problem, Saber attack. Pat Mall is she with Master Collection. How are you? Great. Never been fucking better, man. Living my best life. What about you? Real world is temporary. Video games are eternal. Well, if real life is temporarily, as you said, meaning you die, then how are the games going to be eternal? Explain that. Oh, you mean like the concept of video games? True. But to be fair, Saber attack, I'd prefer to be dead than to see where video games will be in years to come. I don't want to see the future of gaming, because the present gaming is bad enough. So I don't want to see the future of gaming. Games live on for generations and can't die. Good point. But Saber attack, seriously, man. I mean, again, like, I'm not making this personal. I mean, obviously, you are just you, and you are living in the country that you're living in, and you don't have any say in that, and you're not responsible for what goes on in your country. Do you know what I mean? But I just mentioned it because I found it was just concerning. Like, that's all, Saber attack. I'm sure concerning things happen in countries all across the world, not just Saudi Arabia. I just found it concerning that it was bad enough that apparently the Saudi Arabian prince was involved in murdering a journalist, but now apparently Saudi Arabia are involved in shooting dead Ethiopians for wanting to come into the country. I mean, whatever about border control, whatever about having a say on that, like literally shooting people to death. I mean, here in Ireland, there is a massive issue of hatred towards people coming into the country, where it can go from having a very debated conversation about it to pure racism. But nobody in fucking Ireland are shooting immigrants and migrants to death because they don't want them coming into the country. That is just on a whole fucking another level, And I just found that very concerning. And it's obviously you are not responsible for this issue, Saber attack. I'm not saying that you're responsible for this issue. This isn't a personal thing. It's just something that I heard today on the news, and I'm like, wow. This is a country that bans video games because of a flag, and literally makes it illegal for two people to be in love. I mean, as if that country can dictate to people the concept of love. I mean, fuck me, Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on the topic anyway. I'm not going to add any more to it. And yes, Xbox did die. I killed it. It would be cloud gaming only. Oh, that's only half of it. NFTs, yeah, Xbox is dead. I killed it. Yeah, it's fine to say you can't come to the country, but killing them is unnecessary. Exactly. I mean, you can have this discussion is everything. Dialogue is everything. Conversation is everything. We wouldn't have gotten anywhere in this world if it hadn't been for conversation. There's always room for conversation. There's always time for conversation. There's always a need for conversation. So when it comes to border control and migration and issues like that, it's very important to talk about it and to explain how you feel about that topic, but in a respectful, logical and productive way. just like straight out like hating on people, without even like understanding the background behind it, but literally like shooting someone to death. Like it's not going to make your country any more liked, and it's not going to make your country any more fucking, I don't know, like people are not going to like look at your country in a positive way, Fucking hell. I don't know, I just think it's crazy anyway. I just think it's pretty hypocritical, like, for a country that just throws around like the rules, and hates on the Western world, for so many issues. But yeah, God, I'm not going to get any sleep. I'm not tired at all. I'm actually full of energy at 1:15 in the morning. That's not right, is it? Konami, huh? 720p. For, like, it is 2023, Konami. Their resolutions higher than 720p in 2023. I mean, at least 1080p. Would it kill them to stretch to 1080p? Honestly. Imagine I made a video call and go to Saudi Arabian Prince. It just popped into my head. Do you know what? The mentality that I have in life now, more than ever before, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be afraid. Because I laugh at people like them. I laugh at like dictators and powerful people who think they're powerful. I just laugh at them. I wouldn't care if I had a gun to my head. I wouldn't even care. Shot me, to be honest. I would, like, as I take my final breath, as blood is coming out of my mouth, I would be laughing in their, I know this is like psychotic though, but I would literally like laugh in their face. Because all I would see in front of me, in my dying moments, is the pathetic waste of a life. And I would know that my life was more productive and loving than this fucker's life would ever be. Pretty nice, isn't it? I'm just gone psychotic. It's more 720p and Switch runs at games at 30 frames per second for PS2. Fucking games. Yep. They're all bad. China, North Korea, Saudi Arabia. Well, I mean, I don't want to offend anyone living in those countries. That's very important. So that's what I mentioned earlier. I don't want to offend anyone living in those countries, because the people are living in those countries that are not involved in politics, government, military, that are not responsible, for what's going on in that country from a political standpoint or a religious standpoint. They're not the problem. They're just people living their life. They're like me and you. These are people playing PlayStation. These are people trying to block that out of their life and just sit in front of a TV and, play a console and watch a TV series. That's not, people are not the issue. It's just, the institutions, the authorities or whatever else. They're the issue. And it's very important to know that at all times. Okay, I'm actually starting to get tired now, so I'm yawning. So the actual people are not the issue, it's the leaders. Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that you were saying that, by the way. I wasn't saying that you were implying that it was the people. I just wanted to kind of, I just wanted to clarify it. I mean, why are we taking lives of people who have already been through hell and are innocent? Exactly. Like that just like when I heard that in the news today, like I was like, whoa. Like I knew that like Saudi Arabia was a pretty like controversial country in terms of their views on a lot of like social issues. You know, fucking hell, man. I mean, literally like shooting dead like people who just want to come into their country. I mean, that's taking it to the extreme, like. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Saudi Arabia. I'm gonna slap the shit out of that Saudi Arabian prince. I'll make him bow to me. He'll make him suck me off. Make him what he hates. Oh my days. I'm saying it because I need to clarify to other people I don't hate the countries, I hate the leadership. Exactly, that's what it comes down to. It's like we take the big boss mentality. We have the big boss mentality, or even the boss. That's what I love about Metal Gear Solid 3's story and themes. Is just like it's not like the politics, like enemy ally changes every time. It's about the person and what that person like believes in, and yeah, it's not about like why should borders, like why should me, and you and everyone else, why should we be separated in terms of our beliefs, in terms of our social decisions, because of what a country tells us that we should be and shouldn't be, Normally I would be absolutely exhausted at this hour of night and I would not be able to have this conversation, but no, I'm just like, I don't care. I will sit here until fucking 3:20 in the morning and I wouldn't give a shit. I like playing stuff in games, not in real life. Well, not when it gets too, like, I suppose, like, political can be good, but, like, this, like, kind of, like, woke political shit, like, I don't like. But I did really enjoy Metal Gear Solid 3 for its kind of eye-opening kind of, like, view on politics, No saber tech. I am the real Johnny Cage. You are, what are you? You're just the glasses. You're just the glasses. I wear the glasses. You're Johnny Cage glasses. And I own you. Boom. Just a bit of banter, saber tech. A bit of banter. I like talking about how bad it is and how stupid people are. Oh God, don't get me started on how stupid people are. I will be here until 4 o'clock in the morning. What is your main character? He actually, no, I know there was only 6 fighters in the beta for Mortal Kombat 1. And there'll be a lot more fighters available in the final version. But he has become my main actually so far in the game. But again, that's not to say that in the final version that he will be my main. But he was definitely my main in the beta. I actually started to use combos, not very long, extensive combos, but short burst combos. Does that make sense? Short burst combos. When I played Mortal Kombat 11, I was always using special moves and I never used combos. So with Mortal Kombat 1, I wanted to change things up a little bit. So I kind of balance out combos with special moves. But I feel like on a cage, I really liked using his combos, even though they were short. But got the job done, you know. But yeah, I like Johnny Cage's personality in Mortal Kombat 1 more than his personality in Mortal Kombat 1 just seems to be turned up to the fucking max, and I love it. I can channel my inner Johnny Cage. I'm actually excited for Mortal Kombat 1, only fighting game I'm actually excited for. I think a lot of people would agree with you. I think a lot of people would agree with you. Honestly, I think Tekken 6 is going to be left in the fucking dirt when Mortal Kombat 1 comes out. Tekken, whenever it comes out, I thought it was coming out this year. So as far as this year is concerned, like Mortal Kombat has the center stage. It has the spotlight. I mean, I'm not even going to acknowledge Street Fighter 6. I couldn't be arsed. But Mortal Kombat 1, what a game. I mean, it is visually impressive, extremely visibly impressive. I mean, the details on the characters, the details on the stages, I mean, just the fucking fatalities, oh my days. It's going to have a cinematic story mode, which is going to be amazing as well. So, yeah, it's going to be the better fighting game, hands down. Mortal Kombat has an amazing campaign, usually 100%. You'll never see Kazuma kill all the characters in Tekken. But I believe, now I haven't played Tekken 8, so I'm not going to be the kind of person that starts criticizing a game that hasn't even come out yet, but I do feel like they've run out of ideas for the story. I know for a fact that when Tekken 7 came out, they said that that was the end of the story. That was the end of the bloodline. The mushu timeline. And now here we have Tekken 8, and the first thing we see is fucking Kazuya fighting Jin. I mean, I just feel like they're just, I don't know, they're running out of ideas. Like, Mortal Kombat seems like the winner this, Mortal Kombat seems like the winner of this generation. Oh, absolutely, it's definitely going to win Best Fighting Game. That's hands down. Absolutely, without a question of a doubt. I don't think it gets put into best, does it? Is there a category for Best Fighting Game? Or is this best? I don't know what the fuck is going to come under, but it's definitely going to win something anyway. Well, hello there, the Hayabusa60. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to this random conversation about God knows whatever. I'm actually discussing Konami and the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, but there's nothing masterful about those games being 720p. It's just lazy. You know, it's another fine example of laziness. Yeah, best fighting game, war category. Oh, well, it's definitely going to win then. What happened with Metal Gear Solid Master Collection? Okay, so the games are going to be 720p, which is pathetic. They could have just upscaled the resolution. I'm not asking for a remaster, you know, I'm just asking for, like, if these games are going to be on modern platforms, then I'm asking for modern resolution. You get that with PlayStation Premium. When you play PS1 games, I was blown away. Like, how many people can say in 2023 that they are blown away with the visuals of a PS1 game? When I played Twisted Metal on PS1 through PS Plus Premium, I was genuinely blown away with the visuals because it was the resolution. I'm pretty sure the resolution was 4K. And if it wasn't 4K, it was definitely 1080p. but it certainly wasn't 720p. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening with Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. Nothing so masterful about it. Yeah. I can't start to fall asleep now. Maybe about 10 more minutes I'll probably try and go to sleep. Don't tell me it's gonna make the Red Dead Redemption port look. It will. Because it's in 1080p. I think. Isn't it? Yeah. But let's not give Rockstar Games and Take-Two any solid defense. You know, that was yesterday's discussion. Put it that way. that was last week's discussion. We're not going to give that port any credit. Like, it doesn't deserve any credit. Whatever. Like, I could put a spin onto it, but I'm not going to say anything positive about that game. People should emulate that game. There's already people who have emulated it on the Switch, and they managed to they put it onto PC or something. They were using the Switch version anyway, and they emulated it onto PC, and it's 4K 60 frames per second. So if people want to play Red Dead Redemption, just emulate it. I'm going to take emulation over this collection. Yep, and you are right. For me, I'm just going to stick to the original versions that I have. It's not a problem for me. It's just not a problem. Like, I will not support greed, laziness. I will not support it. Like, because this isn't like, it's not an issue of re-releases and remasters and remakes. I like games that get if Capcom, there's a Capcom event happening next month. If they announced in that event a collection of the classic Resident Evil games, I would be delighted. But if they're going to be in 720p, I wouldn't be delighted. If they're not going to put any effort into them, I wouldn't be delighted. I like when companies put effort in. I mean, I remember when Nintendo were talking about the Super Mario All-Star thingy. Oh look, it's Super Mario 64, but they didn't do anything differently to that game. And it pissed me off. It really, if anyone can remember, it really pissed me off. I was just really, really fed up. Because, I mean, Nintendo had released Super Mario 64 so many fucking times over the years, and I was just pissed off. It was lazy. I still bought it though. But that was me then. This is me now. PS3 is the way Metal Gear Solid HD Collection plus MG was. You put an alien emoji. You're an alien. Are you an alien? Are you an alien? If I can find this collection for super cheap in a few months, I will pick it up, but not for 50. Yeah, probably same here. I don't know. I mean, no, I think I'll just stick to the original. I'm not going to be tempted. I mean, I'm not going to be tempted. No, I'm not going to be tempted. This won't be happening. Super Mario 3D All-Stars is a weird one because it's 3 great games on the Switch, but for the price they charged. I mean, technically they were in HD, so I don't really know why I'm complaining so much. Like, they were actually HD, so it wasn't like Nintendo still had Super Mario 64 in standard definition. Like, they were all HD. They were all outputted in HD, which is better than what Konami are doing right now. But for me, you see, I'll tell you the truth now. I'll tell you what this is, right? I'll tell you exactly what this is now. I want a fucking remake of Super Mario 64 so bad you have no idea. Or even the remaster. You have no idea how badly I want that. So when they showed the trailer for Super Mario 3D All-Stars, because of what they did years ago on the Super Nintendo with the original Super Mario All-Stars, when they completely remastered like the NES Mario games, and they looked far better. That's what I thought I was getting with 3D All Stars. And when I saw what I got, because I remember I was in town, I was walking in town. I think it was, yeah, I can't remember if that was showing it. No, I'm confused now. Yeah, I was walking in town, I was going somewhere anyway, and I saw the trailer popping up, and I remember getting all excited. I remember saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go in town now and get done what I need to do, go home, watch the trailer." Got all excited, thinking that this was gonna be a full-blown remaster of Super Mario 64. I could not wait, and there was not. It was literally just the exact same game, but they were still upscaled in HD, which is something. But that's the game I just want remastered at the very least. But you know what? There's a possibility they might though, because Nintendo, they don't do as much remakes as other companies like Capcom or Square Enix. But as the first Square Enix only released, remade one game, Final Fantasy VII. But I don't know. Maybe they could follow Super Mario RPG with a Super Mario 64 remake. Imagine it launched with a Switch 2. Fucking hell. Could be lying a bit and just thinking of that now. Christ, make that happen. But I really would love a Jeez, I couldn't talk. Okay, I actually am getting tired now, so I'm gonna say, what time is it now? Okay, 10 more minutes and I'm gone. I definitely want to see a collection of the classic PS1 or Resident Evil games. It doesn't have to be every Resident Evil game. Just 1, 2, and 3. I mean, they could literally just. I think what they could do is work. No, do you know what though? Remastered. Not remake, but remastered. I think that would be interesting. If they took like, oh my god, I'm actually getting so excited now, because it would still be the Resident Evil game, but just remastered. So you still have the tank controls and everything else. But you know what? No, I think that would be great. But I'd be happy enough with just the original games. But a remaster would be fantastic. But just the original. Just a streaming those games. I streamed Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut, but it'd be great to be able to have 2 and 3 as well, like, you know. Right, I'm gonna go nice speaking to you about this. No problem at all. You know what? I'm gonna go along with you, to be honest with you, because I'm fucking yawning and falling asleep and everything in between. So, I'm gonna say thank you for watching, Aaron, and everyone else, of course. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting and being very interactive in this discussion, and it's much appreciated. I've had all different people interacting and saying all different things, and much appreciated. Yeah, what can I say? 720p from Metal Gear. Fuck off. I am going to sleep, and I will see you in hell. Thanks, y'all. I will see you in the next live stream. Good night.